Hello everyone, I am back. Did you miss me? Yeah, I've been doing a lot of edits and I've been enjoying my summer break. I haven't really done that many videos, unfortunately, but I am going to be doing a few videos, and I'm going to be doing one specifically for Deadpool and Wolverine, because this is the review of the Marvel Legends Deadpool Legacy Collection movie Deadpool. Now, before I move on to the box and the figure, I just want to say, please don't post spoilers on the comment section. I haven't seen the movie yet. I'm going to this Saturday, so please don't spoil this movie for anyone who hasn't seen it. I've been really looking forward to it. I mean, come on, Hugh Jackman's coming back. It's not really much of a spoiler, but anyways, with the box, let's start with the box. The box is pretty plain. It's similar to the X-Men movie 20th anniversary figures, as you could see on the screen right here. It's very much like that, except it's basically with a lot of stuff with Deadpool. So you get the logo over here, the logo on the bottom, on the side. You get a nice picture of Deadpool himself. On the other side, nothing more. On the top, the movie logo, and on the bottom, QR code and stuff. And on the back, nothing really. That's all you get. So that's with the figure and the box. Alright, so sorry about that. I had to redo that like 2 times, but I won't explain why. But yes, as I said before, I have a huge history, a little bit of a huge history with Deadpool. I watched those first 2 movies. I don't remember if I liked them or not. I'm going to rewatch them. And because of them, because I was getting into Marvel, I was like, okay, I'm just going to buy a Deadpool figure. So, because of that, I got on screen right here, picture the Juggernaut movie Deadpool, but it was used and it was missing a lot of accessories. And yeah, I love that thing to death, but it just needed those swords, man. Now, cut to 2020 when they had the Deadpool, the X-Men stuff, the X-Men 20th anniversary figures. So we got a Deadpool and Negasonic Teenage Warhead. I thought it was a lot of money, so I didn't really get that figure. Also, I just didn't want to get an unnecessary side character. Then Hasbro released this, which my main thought process was, wow. I was really happy that they're reissuing this figure because, for us collectors who don't have this version of Deadpool and who couldn't get the 2-pack version, it's nice that we got a reissue. So the story was, I went after school, I went to a GameStop, and then I picked it up, and I'm happy to this day. So, the main question of the matter is this figure worth it for a collector who doesn't own this Deadpool? Well, I will tell you all in this review right now. I'll start off with the paint and the sculpt of this figure, which the painting and especially the sculpting, I'll just move that over there, is fantastic. This is by far one of the best Marvel Legends out there for Deadpool, because I just want to gush over the texture. This is one of those figures that if you could feel it, yeah, definitely. It's a great figure. Starting off with the head. Like, originally, I didn't really care of getting a new Deadpool from the movies. But as soon as I saw this head sculpt, man, it's so well done. You see the proportions are there. You get this nice texture going on, which I don't remember how it was in the movie, but it's really impressive nonetheless. How Hasbro took their time to not just, paint it, but sculpt it in a way that, has a lot of texture and a lot of detail. And I really like what they did here. I'm just going to get rid of that. And as you see, there's a top of the little mask, which is where he usually has it. He always has that in every single comic, which is nice. But with this, it kind of is a nice, cleaner look. And overall, I just really like how he looks. He looks absolutely fantastic. No problems with the eyes here at all. No problems. He has no... his eyes aren't like one eye is open and wide, one is not. There's no QC issues there. Moving on to the neck, as you can see, there's even texture there. And as you could also see, there is a collar here. And I think that's from Deadpool 2, I think. That's where he had the collar. And I did when I got this figure, I did remove the head, and this is separate. So, yeah, if you want to, you can remove it. But for me, I want to keep it because it kind of keeps the look a little bit fresh. In terms of proportions, originally I was kind of like, why is the head a lot smaller than the body? But I think the head looks, on a certain degree, it actually looks really proportionate. A little, at least. To some extent, it looks a little proportionate. Now, moving on to the rest of his body, just, again, look at the texture here. And there's no mismatched colors. Look at the texture of his chest and his armor. There's like these subtle scratches and dents. And I think these are bullet holes too, which is very, very nice. And then, yeah, moving on to the back. Very nicely sculpted holsters for his katanas. And a very nicely sculpted belt with the Deadpool logo, because trademark. And I really love the sculpting as well. On the arms, it looks like real fabric. How there's like these subtle lines and everything, which makes it feel like an actual suit. There's the wrinkles and everything. Very nicely well done. Very cool. Just look at that. And then moving on to his hands. Now, there is a bit of a problem here, and this also affects the original release. There are a few hands in here that are painted silver, and then a few that are just painted just pure black. To my knowledge, I think the silver represents the Deadpool 2 design, and that's where he has like this little like shoulder pad thing here, which is very nicely sculpted, but kind of gets in the way of posability. But anyways, yeah, the hands are painted silver. The gauntlets here are painted silver, but yeah, other than that, pretty nice. And moving on to his crotch, I'm just gonna, there we go. Very nicely sculpted. Just look at that. Look at the texture here. Very beautiful, very nice. Holsters and everything. And you want to see his cake. There it is. Very flat looking. Compare it to all I remember from the movie. But otherwise, it's very good. If there's one thing I also could mention, I forgot to mention, is I like the pinless joints. However, it's only on the arms. Unfortunately, the legs don't have that. But they still have texture. I feel like, though, there is a sense of missing paint at the same time. Because, you know, it's just, the main colors here are just red and black. So maybe a little more silver, too, with a little sense of silver. Maybe a little bit more silver. I don't know. I think there's, like, some parts here, like this, I don't know, calf guard that is supposed to be painted silver. I don't know. There are parts of this figure that feels like they should have been painted, or at least dry brushed, but otherwise, I think it looks amazing. Obviously, it's not the SH Figure Arts version, which I'm not gonna get, but you know, it's not exactly perfect in terms of, yeah, of course, that and articulation. But for Marvel Legends standards, it's actually really impressive. I mean, the fact that Hasbro went through all this effort to make a new mold, give a new head sculpts, new hands, and everything, and it's all newly sculpted and painted is nice. So I really love what they did with that. Now, moving on to the accessories. Deadpool comes with a unicorn, 2 katanas, a combat knife, 2 pistols, a pair of fisted hands, of course the pair of open hands that he has on right now. He has 2 types of gripping hands that, of course, have the silver. So, yeah, as you could plainly see, if I get it right here and put it on camera, these little parts here are silver. Like this. So I don't know why they didn't do that. So it makes a little bit no sense. Also, I don't remember if exactly there were these hands on the figure. I don't remember exactly because I was like, wait, why is there two gripping hands? These are more meant for the guns, while these hands are more meant for the katanas and everything. Because, if I demonstrate it, this is a little loose. Meanwhile, this is a little tighter. So, that is meant to be held like that. And also, same thing with the knife, which, side note here is like, oh, why is the knife bent up that way? Well, here's the thing. This knife is a pain in my balls because this thing is stuck onto his sheath and I just couldn't pull it out. I had to use my teeth to use this, and oh, good Lord. And that's why it's a little bit torn. So there's that. And then there's the unicorn. Very nice. I don't know the reason, but if you want some hand swaps. And also, as well as you saw before, there is a gun holster, which, of course, holds his guns. I think they're Desert Eagles, which, you want to look, there you go. Very nicely detailed, but I wish there was a little bit more paint. Maybe some dry brushing, I don't know. But if you want to see, you just simply remove his hands. For some reason, my copy of the figure has a bit of QC issues with this. But yes, you put on the gun, you let him grip it, and boom. And it's rubbery too. Very nice, although, I don't know. There's a part of me that feels like it could have been done a little bit better. But yes. And then moving on to his weapons, if you want him to hold the katanas, again, here's a hand swap right here. And you get him holding his katanas. I can't really get that many good Deadpool poses, so I'm going to have to watch the movie as well for reference. But look at that. Like, yeah. So, overall, the accessories are really good. They're plentiful. They're not like the Marvel Legend, the original, like, Juggernaut Wave one, which has, like, a bunch. Like, it comes like a rocket launcher, a few machine guns, a shotgun. It comes with a lot, man. And if you want to know about the split of hands, there it is. They're not like normal, like the Spider-Man. They're like in a certain way. So you can make that meme where he's like, he's like gasping. Because, spoilers for Deadpool and Wolverine are out. And again, as I said before, please don't spoil the movie to everyone. But anyways, yeah, accessories are great. Paint is great. Sculpting is magnificent. So let's start off with the articulation. Articulation for this guy is actually really impressive. You could get a lot of great poses here. It's just let your imagination, which, fortunately I don't have any. Obviously, this isn't compared to, let's say, SH Figure Arts, but it's very good. So there is actually a barbell type of neck joint. He can look up this far. He can look down this far. And he could tilt a little bit and rotate around. And as I said before, let me just do that. You can remove the neck collar, as I forgot to mention in the accessories. And I think there's a ball joint. Like, if you want a greater look, I don't know. I feel like if I might force it, but I don't know what that is. But there we go. As for arm articulation, and this is where the figure starts to shine, rotation, full 360, and a butterfly joint. He can move back that far and move in that far, which is great. So that's awesome. Yeah, you can raise his arm up that high. There we go. bicep swivel, a double jointed elbow, which for some reason was so tight that if you notice in the detail section, they left little bends at the plastic, which is so frustrating. And then there's a hinge joint at the hands. Nice that Hasbro is doing hinge joints. And then there's a waist swivel, not hindered by the belt whatsoever unless, you know, it's very far down. If it's like this, there you go. He has an ab crunch. A little outdated. I mean, I wish he had a diaphragm joint, but oh well. Hopefully the Marvel Legends figure, the new version of this mold actually does it. Yes, I did see the leaks of the Deadpool and Wolverine Deadpool from Marvel Legends. That thing is a repaint, and I'm not getting it, although I like the colors. But yes, he can arc back that far. Not too much because of the holsters for his sheaths, for his swords. He can kick up this far, really good back, and he can get the spread. Kind of disappointing spread, to be honest, for a character like Deadpool. He has a thigh swivel, a double jointed knee, which is a little gummy, but honestly not too bad. He has a hinge joint at the foot that also acts as a pivot, and yeah, that's it. So posability overall is really expressive for the character. It's just I wish this was a diaphragm joint rather than an ab crunch, because you can't really get too many good poses with it besides just the arms and the legs. I would really wish they would do something similar to the Black Widow, and I think that's what they've been doing. Like, I wish Marvel Legends would have a diaphragm joint and an ab crunch. Just sacrifice the waist swivel, which, let's be real here, I don't know what it would do other than poses like this. But yeah, it's overall a really good looking figure, and yeah, it's just very nice. So now I move on to some size comparisons. This figure stands at a rough almost 6 inches, 6.5. For some random size comparisons, here is Deadpool next to the Hammond Collection Baryonyx, my custom Playmates GXK Kong with Beast Glove, and the Beast Kingdom Michelangelo. Is Deadpool compared to Tom Holland's Spider-Man, which is actually really good. Hopefully, since again Deadpool is coming into the MCU along with Wolverine, I really hope that these two meet. There's a lot of things going on with the MCU, and there's a lot. That's all I gotta say. There's a lot, and I really hope all those wishes come true. And for another comparison, and this is for the movie, Deadpool compared to the Marvel Legends X-Men 20th Anniversary Bomber Jacket Wolverine. Man, this is so good. Now, I don't have the one with the tank top because that's the one I want to get for this. Of course, as I saw before, and I'm going to show photos right now, there is the new Deadpool and Wolverine figure, which looks amazing. Definitely going to get that. But until then, this will do. I mean, I was really satisfied with it, but oh my gosh, these two look so good together. But yeah, overall, really not that bad of a scale. I don't know how big Hugh Jackman was as Wolverine. Was he I know Hugh Jackman is not like Wolverine from the comics. He's that Wolverine is midget size. Here, he's a tall guy. So I think there he's I don't know. I think Deadpool's supposed to be taller, but I am not sure. But anyways, now moving on to my final thoughts. Alright, I got into an amazing pose, but also my creativity for Deadpool is very lacking. So, overall, is this figure worth buying? Yes. If you don't own a movie Deadpool or a Deadpool in general, I suggest you get this figure. If you're a movie MCU collector for Marvel Legends like me, yes, I recommend it. Although you already have this one from the 2-pack, yeah, I honestly suggest you kind of skip it. I do feel like this Legacy Collection is more meant for people who haven't gotten these figures, which is magnificent. as a person who wanted this Deadpool but couldn't get it, it's nice that, this figure exists. The fact that this figure is reissued, because again, not everyone is going to own this figure. It's a little bit harder to find just by itself. So the fact that you yourself could get it again if you missed out on it, it's great. And another thing too is, and I forgot to mention, is the guns can, as I mentioned before, the holsters. I don't know if I mentioned this before, but yeah, how many words I've repeated. But anyways, the guns on the holsters for his guns, originally those were just kind of filled in, and he just came with like 2 regular generic guns. So the fact that they did the feature with that is very nice. But overall, I think this Deadpool figure is great. The paint, while it could be a bit improved, and I know my figure has quality control, but I won't let that influence anyone, because remember, it's just probably my copy, so there's nothing really to worry about. Just be warned about your copy. And also be warned about a few QC issues. But otherwise, it's a great figure. I highly recommend it. I would suggest hunting this down quickly, or if you don't like this, or if you want to, wait until the Deadpool and Wolverine Deadpool releases. Hopefully during SDCC they start to release it. But until then, yeah, great figure. I'll give it an overall score of, let's say an 8.5 out of 10. It's a great figure. I suggest you go ahead and pick it up. Definitely a little bit soon, because Deadpool and Wolverine is releasing as of now. People are watching it early, so I suggest you watch it immediately. You watch out immediately, or if you just don't want to get this figure, or if you're a completionist, go ahead. If you don't want this figure, that's fine. If you just want the one from Deadpool 3, yes, go ahead and buy it. Nothing really it doesn't really matter. So, yeah, until then, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, hit the bell, and I will see you all next time. I might do either the Wolverine, or I might do Green Goblin. Until then, yeah, I'll see you guys later. Bye.